Hi, I'm Joe with Gramophone. It's the fall of 2024, and we're really excited to have committed in a big way to LG TV this fall because they're doing such a great job with large panel TVs. And we're even more excited because we get to talk about LG TV with Greg Lee. Greg, how are you?
I'm doing good, Joe. It's good
Good.
seeing you.
Great to see you. You know, when we were at CEDIA last year, you were our very first shoot of the day, of the show, actually. And I hadn't really worked with you before. We had briefly met each other, but I distinctly remember walking away from that meeting thinking, boy, what a great way to start CEDIA, because it was just so much fun shooting with you, your enthusiasm and your knowledge about the product. So
thank you.
So we're delighted to have Greg back here today now on camera. And the first question I have for you, 25 or so years ago, really plasma TV was what people watched in flat panel. And of course, that technology has been replaced. What is happening in modern, really beautiful TV sets is OLED technology. And LG has a unique history with OLED.
Absolutely. LG has been in the OLED business now over a decade. We started in 2013 with our first television, an OLED, of course, and we've have the maturity and we have the history and have had some amazing products and are building, some of the most amazing televisions in the history of televisions with LG OLEDs today.
The TV picture is spectacular from what we've seen, Greg, and what we've got on display. And a follow-up question is that here at Gramophone, we've really been impressed not simply with the picture quality, but consumers have different needs and different choices. There are different sizes, obviously, and different price ranges within the different sizes. So maybe you could just tell us about how LG approaches the way you guys think about making products for consumers so that people's needs are met.
Well, absolutely. What we know about customers is they want variety, and everybody has sort of their perfect television that they want and need. So over the years, LG, because we've been in it so long, have expanded the lineup from 1 series to now we have our B, C, G, and M series OLEDs that are available, as well as our Z. So there's 5 series of OLEDs and sizing. There's definitely a trend to go larger, and LG has the traditional 55, 65, 77, and have added 83-inch and the world's largest OLED at 97. What about a smaller area, or maybe you're wanting to use an OLED on a desktop with your computer? We've got them at 42 and 48 inches as well. So we have a series and a size that'll match up with just about anything that anybody would want.
So Greg, with all that history of OLED, I'm sure you've got some TVs in the history of what you guys have been doing that are sort of favorites of yours, or ones that really stand out a little bit.
Yeah, with LG OLEDs, our C series and our G series have been very, very popular. The C, I think, is like that perfect match of technology, pricing, and the value that you get out of it. But yeah, LG has had some really cool pieces amongst the years. We've had our wallpaper OLED that was so thin that it essentially held to the wall by magnets. I mean, it was just, really thin. We've also brought to market a rollable, the world's first rollable television. It was a 65 that would disappear into a box and then roll itself back up again. We have a wireless OLED in our lineup currently. So the TV goes on one side of the room, all the electronics basically then transmit over. And this year, we have been hinting and teasing at shows like CES, a transparent OLED TV.
Awesome.
So some cool things out there.
Yeah, I'm excited about the transparent one. So here at Gramophone, we're carrying the C4 Series and the G4 Series, C4 Evo and G4 Evo. So now you referenced the B series, which is not Evo. I feel like it'd be a good idea for us just to talk a little bit about Evo and what your Evo series brings, because there's a lot of technology there.
Well, as we talked about earlier, Joe, we have our full lineup of OLEDs, and we build them at different levels for pricing, features, and performance. And B is our entry-level, OLED, our B4 series. And it is OLED and looks amazing, but the C and the G are OLED Evo, meaning they're a pairing of our best panel technology and best processing technology. In fact, both of those sets have processors specifically designed to maximize the performance of OLED technology. So your C and G are going to get significantly brighter than your B, so you have that perfect black, but then having that higher brightness gives them more punch and impact. And there's some other things that we'll talk about that are integrated specifically in those series as well.
So Greg, as I understand that LG's most popular series at this point is the C4 series. And maybe we referenced B4 just a moment ago. Maybe you can just dig a little deeper into what are some of the technological differences that make the C4 a better product.
Well, C4 does get LG's Alpha 9 processor in its 7th generation. So we've been working off of this for quite some time. That processor was designed from the get-go and continues to be developed to maximize the performance of OLED TVs from LG specifically. So that processor was made specifically to get the most out of OLED. We also have a better handling of HDR content with what we call OLED dynamic tone mapping, which is available starting in our C4 series. And if you've ever watched HDR content at home, sometimes you're watching a dark scene, but it's supposed to have more dynamic range. The problem is that dark scenes look too dark because the TV is compensating for the overly bright signal. The TV may not be able to handle it naturally, so it pulls the brightness down, but everything dark gets pushed darker. What dynamic tone mapping does is it looks at dark scenes and says, okay, we can't squeeze it too far, and it actually re-extends the dark areas to make them have more pop and dynamic, intensity that you kind of expect from HDR. So watching dark scenes, on an OLED that are HDR will look much better on the C4. It also has the ability to take HDR and bring out either more detail or better brightness, even more brightness out of this set. In fact, that Alpha 9 processor with its brightness booster algorithm gets us about 20% more brightness in the 55 and larger screen sizes than on the B, so that better brightness. And speaking of screen sizes, it's not just a 55, 65, and 77 that we have in the B4. The C4 adds the 42, the 48, and also have an 83-inch in the lineup as well. So we have a broad line, which is one of the reasons I think it's our most popular.
Yeah, 42 to 83 is a great spread.
It's a great range. Yeah. And if you're a gamer and you have a gaming PC and you want better than 120 hertz of refresh rate or speed, this is the first TV in our lineup that will support up to 144 hertz. So when you're gaming, you're getting FreeSync, you can have VRR, adaptive sync, so it doesn't look choppy or you don't get screen tearing. And it was the first TV series that was actually blessed by NVIDIA to work with their G-Sync video cards. So it's a fantastic piece for console and especially gaming on a PC. Now, another thing that's cool about the C4, and there's a lot, so I think we're seeing that there's a lot of difference between the two.
Yeah.
The C4, if you get it in the 42, 55, 65, and 77, uses a composite fiber material for a lot of the backplate and what we basically build the product out of. So that 77-inch OLED big screen weighs in around 53, 55 pounds. So it's really light comparatively. So if you're going to mount it somewhere and trying to hang it, it's easier to hang. And also if you're going to put it maybe on a long swing arm, you could put a larger screen on a lighter weight swing arm. So that makes it pretty good as well. And even the bezel is much thinner, so you're getting more screen and less frame around the set, which a lot of customers like as well. If you're like me and we like to ask, Siri or Google questions, well, you can talk to your LG C4 TV. You can say, hey, or hi LG or hi TV, and it will respond to your voice. And then you can tell it, play Damsel on Netflix, and it will actually launch the amp and go right into the content you're looking for. And we even have the ability to transmit what's running through the C4 to other LG TVs in the house with a feature we call room to room. So there are all sorts of really good options as to why you might consider the C4 over the B4. And it's not just picture performance. There are a lot of features that we add to that series as well.
So Greg, there's even a few more things you can talk about with C4 Evo from a technology perspective that are really pretty cool.
Yeah, I think one of the things that customers get frustrated at is they see a TV at a store that looks amazing. They get it home and for some reason it doesn't quite match their expectations. And the thing is that we all look at things differently, right? Mm-hmm. So LG has come up with a way to help customers get the picture on the screen that's going to be most appealing to them, and we call it our personalized picture wizard. Now, what this is a process that you basically go into the picture menu and say, hey, I want a personalized picture setting, and you start the wizard. Now, it's just going to throw up a bank of 6 images, and all it's asking, Joe, pick 1 or 2 images from this page that visually jump out to you. Okay, so you simply choose a couple of pictures and you go through about 6 pages of different images and just choose 1 or 2 that are visually appealing to you. In the meantime, the TV is working in the background, knowing the attributes of those pictures, and it's creating a customized picture setting based on your visual preferences, even though you don't even know what you're doing here at this point, which is awesome. In fact, when you're done running through those 6 pages, it will create a personalized picture setting that will then be applied to the screen that is one setting configured out of like 83 million plus choices. Talk about wild. And the cool thing is we've run that in stores with regular customers, even industry professionals. When they run through it, they go, that looks good. I'd watch that. And isn't that essentially what we all want out of a TV, is that when we turn it on, it looks good to us and it's something we enjoy watching. So LG's personalized picture wizard does a great job of making that happen.
That's a great feature. If you like a particular dish at the restaurant and it's too spicy for me, really what you're saying with personalized picture wizard is you can customize it to look great in your living room.
Yeah, but this is almost like the chef going, oh, here comes Joe again. I know he doesn't like spicy, and it knows based on your preferences, but it's doing this on your TV at home.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then what we've been showing here is LG's Always Ready feature. A TV is a TV only when you're watching it, but when you're not watching it, usually it's just a dark rectangle in your living room, which can be sort of a distraction, not the favorite of interior designers or decorators, right?
Right.
So what we've got going on here is LG has the ability, when you turn the TV off or when you launch it with voice or with the actual feature of Always Ready, we can have it display artwork, motion art. I can have it play music, or what we're doing here are playing personal images. These are things that we've put together or I've shot over the years. And so I can have my own personal collection running up on the screen, or we can even link to a Google Photos account as well. So when it launches, the TV will now be an enhancement to your living space, even when you're not watching TV.
A ton of flexibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
And is that part of the SmartOS platform?
That is on the SmartOS platform, available on all the LG OLEDs, and has actually migrated down into our QNED lineup of premium LED products. So yeah, we've made it available in more products this year.
And Greg, there's one more really nice perk with the SmartOS platform as well.
Yeah, we all hate being left behind or missing out on something. And invariably, you get a brand new TV, and 3 months later, there's a new version with the new smart platform. It's been updated, and there's some new features that you're like, I wish I'd got those. So we've got that buyer's remorse. So LG has a new program for 2024 that we kicked off called webOS Renew. Now, webOS is LG's smart TV platform that we've been at for now at a decade on it. But instead of, if you don't have the most up-to-date TV, you don't have the most up-to-date smart platform. No, we're doing an upgrade program that if you buy one of our TVs this year, we will give you platform updates. So you'll gain some of those, extended or new features that pop up on the set, keeping the TV feeling more fresh and up-to-date for up to 5 years, as opposed to, well, you bought it this year and next year it's no longer fresh and up-to-date. So LG's webOS Renew program means that your TV will feel more up-to-date and fresh for a longer period of time.
Greg, you've given us a superb summary of the C4 Evo series, and we'd like to thank all of our viewers, of course, for watching. If you can, please like and subscribe, because that helps us out a lot. For more information about LG, don't hesitate to pick up the phone and call one of us here at Gramophone, or go to gramophone.com. And you can shop Sky by Gramophone, where you're always going to get a secure checkout with fast and free shipping straight to your door. This is Joe from Gramophone and Greg from LG saying thank you so much for watching.